You are listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast. The all-new Culture Cast begins now.
I am the Gorehound.
And I'm Jen.
And we are the all-new Culture Cast, back for the latest edition. What's going on, Jen?
You know what? I am tired of winter. It has been winter in Chicago for approximately 100 years now.
Primetime winter. It never ends.
Primetime winter. And it was like very icy for a little while, and then it was very cold but not icy, and then it was icy again, and now it's just very cold.
Yeah,
and but
the ice is still here because I went
happy.
on a run like 3 weeks ago, and the trails were like iced over, and so I couldn't go on them, and I just went on a run this afternoon, and the ice was still there, so it is with us strong.
Yeah, but at least a lot of the snow has melted for now.
Yeah, and as optimism, I just planted all of my seeds for our garden this year, so in 8 to 10 weeks, we should be expecting something nice outside.
Well, that's exciting.
Or at least the anticipated last frost.
That is very exciting. Yeah. I would be afraid to go outside right now.
Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah, I think that's brave.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Oscars.
The Oscars, all right. I thought it was the Academies, but that is fine because you are the professional in this podcast, and I am going to go with your knowledge of the ceremony.
Absolutely. But first, do we have a man crush of the week?
We do, but let's not jump the gun yet.
I am so far behind on everything. I would say things I have been watching that are not somehow related to the Oscars that we are going to talk about later. Very few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been, I've been playing catch up. I was sick earlier, so it's like it's been a winter. I did go see, actually, there are two movies I went to go see, both of which I am going to heartily recommend. One is What Men Want, which stars Chicago beloved character actress Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, she seems very popular, and I've never watched
definitely.
a single thing with her in it.
Well, she's very funny. She holds her own against Tracy Jordan, who I have to say looks a lot better than he did 2 years ago when he got in that bus crash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know there was a time when they thought he'd never be able to, be in movies again. And I thought, if I didn't know about that, I would not have guessed he'd been in any major, accidents or anything recently. So, it's good to see. I know he also has a TV show that I have not watched because there is too much television now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was very funny. It's a flip on What Men Want with, Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Great guy Mel Gibson.
It's McCarthy in that one?
Nope, it's still Taraji P. Henson.
No, the movie that you're talking about.
Oh.
What was the name of the movie?
What Men Want.
Oh, it's Taraji P. Henson.
It's Taraji P. Henson.
Oh, but there's a McCarthy out in films right now, right?
I don't. Well, so there was. She had an Oscar-nominated movie that she was in.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But that one came out, 5 months ago or something.
Yeah,
I think.
Melissa McCarthy. I'm not insane. Life of the Party. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that came out like a year ago.
Okay. But we're talking about it tonight, right? It was.
Well, we'd have to watch it first. But anyway, so Taraji P. Henson.
Was it nominated or anything?
What? Not Life of the Party.
Okay.
She was nominated for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Oh, that was it. I'm sorry. I don't know anything.
That is true. And the other movie that I watched was the new movie with Rebel Wilson called Isn't It Romantic? It's all about a woman who hits herself in the head, as all people do in comedies, and then discovers she's living in a rom-com. It was.
Oh, that's a fun premise.
It was. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. Very delightful. And
did you see all these in theaters?
I did. These
Yeah.
are both currently in theaters, and snuck a bottle of wine in.
Nice.
That was fun. And anyway, but it was exactly what it looks like on the tin. Like, if you're like, I do want something that parodies rom-coms, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But if you're like, that seems like a bad idea, you're probably gonna hate it. But it was a lot of fun. It had the Lesser Hemsworth brother, the guy from the Pitch Perfect movies,
Adam Devine.
and what?
Adam Devine.
Yes, whose name I will maybe one day remember.
Yeah.
And
Well, we just did a rom-com with him in it, and Alexandria Daddario with that guy. So
yeah, well, so his hot streak is continuing.
and he did a Mark Maron episode, which I listened to and was intrigued with.
I cannot listen to Mark Maron podcasts.
Oh man,
Just cannot do it.
he is still like 10 out of 10 for podcast quality for me, but that's just
I've
me.
been getting a lot of Kevin Smith things coming up on my Facebook recently, so I don't know what you did to my Facebook, but
I don't know either, because I have actually not listened to Kevin Smith in maybe like 2 months.
oh my god.
Yeah, because he
God.
used to do Hollywood Babylon, which was with Ralph Garman. It was hilarious. It was a live one where Ralph Garman did all these impressions and they made fun of celebrities and whatnot. And I used to listen to it while I was working out, but then they got sued by some sort of Hollywood conglomerate being like, you can't use our name. And then they stopped using, like, they did like 2 or 3 more after that because it was like in Canada or something. But it was like they just stopped doing them, and I'm like, that sucks. And Jane Silent Bob Get Old is not quite workout material because it's a little bit, I don't know. But yeah, and I've just been occupied with other podcasts, so I'm fading away.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought he was your one true love. Also, the Graveyard Queen.
No, she does not care. Gosh, and I haven't even watched Jane and Silent Bob Get Old. I mean, Strike Back in a while either, because I used to watch that one like every 2 months or something. But yeah, better podcast ever placed it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, last podcast on the left has been my bread and butter. So, but enough of that. Anything else?
No, I'd say those are the two most recent medias that I have seen.
Yeah, I think I might reach out or try to get Isn't It Romantic? Because I bet the girl would like that.
I think she would be delighted by it. All right, what are you watching, listening to, or hanging out with?
Finishing. Gosh, it makes me look like I do nothing but sit and listen to podcasts and watch movies, which I really don't feel like it completely is. But I've started watching Dateline.
Mm-hmm.
I recently turned 30, and I was like, I think it's time for me to start watching Dateline, and it is. I love it.
Do you?
Oh yeah. I'm breaking it into. I guess it was my 31st birthday, and I decided that it was time to because Dak Shepard was talking about it, how he likes it, and I was like, I like Dak Shepard. So I gave it a shot, and I really like it. I listened to the one about the girl who texted her boyfriend to kill himself.
Oh my god! So I didn't know they did a Dateline about that, but that case.
Oh, dude, this girl is a monster.
She's definitely a monster.
Like, so I think we've maybe watched like 10 of them, and like they aren't as good as that one because that one, like, you heard about it on the news, and the others not so much. But it's the series, yes, it is, a story and not, facts-based issue, but it's still very entertaining. And I feel like it's better than like watching The Office or something like that. So,
oh my god.
I've finished The Punisher on Netflix, so I am all caught up with the Netflix Marvel series. And
now they're all canceled, right?
Yes, they are. Oh no, Jessica Jones has a second or third season coming out. And I'll surely watch that. So I enjoyed it. I don't know. That is a different discussion as to whether I liked it or not. I've been catching up with Dinner Party Download because, as I mentioned before, I am trying to listen to the entire catalog, and I am on page 39. So I have like 39 more pages to go, and each page is like 7 or 8 podcasts. So I'm getting through those.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's intense, but like they're all fun, and you get to like learn new music or like new drink recipes and little stories.
Have you heard the episodes? I know they used to be on the show. I don't think they are anymore. But they got their start there. A podcast I listened to called Awesome Etiquette with the Post children of the great grandchildren or great grandchildren of Emily Post.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, well, apparently they got their start there. So if you ever hear from Lizzie Post and Dan Post Senning, know that they spun off onto their own podcast eventually. But so I have not listened to Dinner Party Download, but they always would shout them out as their, where they got their start.
Yeah. It's I'm in like 2010 right now, so I've got 9 years because they canceled it last year. And I listened to it for like the last year of it. So, but moving on, I've been listening to The Dropout, the Theranos story. Have you heard of that one?
I've not even a bit heard of it.
Have you heard of Theranos or Elizabeth Holmes?
Oh, Elizabeth Holmes. She's the one that did what was it? She created like fake blood testing kits or something?
Exactly. She's
basically evil.
Yes, not as evil as... Actually, I don't know. Between the girl who texted her boyfriend to kill himself or Elizabeth Holmes, who pretty much took millions and millions of dollars from people and, like, never gave it back. And
but by not giving them actual kits that did the correct blood tests.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
Probably has some blood on her hands there.
Whole story. The podcast is... It's pretty... Like, the podcast, I feel, is pretty neutral because in this situation, I feel like you can't help but present the facts, and the facts speak for themselves.
Right. So,
I haven't heard of the story before this podcast, but a coworker recommended it to me, and I think it just wrapped up, but I've been listening to that and furious with Elizabeth Holmes, and I can't believe she's not in jail yet. But, when you make millions of dollars, you don't go to jail. That's pretty much it.
Hey, all I can think is, that can't be true. There's a certain Cheeto I need to go to jail. I need it real bad.
Yeah.
So, hopefully even millionaires who think they're billionaires get to go to prison sometimes.
I watched a Slender Man movie, and I've been wanting to learn more about the Slender Man and how he got his start, and I haven't really found a good podcast that really delves into where does Slender Man come from, why are people following him, where is he in this current day and age.
I mean, he's also not real.
Right, but I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon that is, 2018 post, so there has to be a story behind it, and I want to find out like who came up with Slender Man. Didn't just like pop out of nowhere.
I think it was the internet, right? I think that was like a Reddit thing.
Maybe it was. I want to find out.
They've probably done a Dateline on it.
I bet they have. I'm gonna search
with
for
those little girls who stabbed their friend.
Oh man, I like the lead. Thanks.
Yeah.
And one question I wanted to ask you before we went into Man Crush was, did you hear anything about a Ron Burgundy podcast with Will Ferrell?
Yeah, they keep advertising it on all of my podcasts, and it's very curious. I never got into the whole thing. I
hated Anchorman.
So I've never actually seen Anchorman, but I did. So in 2012, I believe it was, I went to DC just to like hang out. And I went to the museum, which, guys, if you're ever in DC, the museum is very cool. They're losing their lease, so hopefully they'll be somewhere.
And it's an awesome name.
And yeah, it's very cool. It's a museum devoted to, newsmakers of the day and everything. And one of the things they have on the outside of the building is they'll have the front page of like 90 newspapers from the US and across the world. And they switch them out every day. So it's very cool to like walk by there and you see all this, all these, these newspapers, and you see like what is, what's trending, what is the Southeast versus the Northeast, talking about, is everybody talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, very cool museum. But while I was there, they had an exhibit on Ron Burgundy. I believe it was right after the second movie came out or something. Anyway, but I went to the exhibit. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually seen the movie. But it's very curious to me because I feel like that movie came out and then like we all kind of forgot about it. And then they created a sequel. And then I think everybody also kind of forgot about it. And now, 5 or 6 years later, they're like, we're going to do a podcast. And I just like, were people asking for that? Like, I don't entirely understand.
You make it sound like it faded away. This was one of those things where it's like The Office, where it reaches a plateau and it stays there. And
I mean,
people aren't necessarily going to hear it, but there are people who love the movie and will watch it repeatedly from the moment it comes out because it just makes them happy. And it's a type of comedy where it has very high repeatability, just like The Office. Yeah. It's just... I mean,
look, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I just every time I hear that commercial for the podcast, I just think like, what?
Hey, Thor here.
Ooh.
Gorehound, have you listened to that Ron Burgundy podcast yet?
No, and I don't know if I want to.
So I listened to it out of curiosity.
It is Will Ferrell, right?
The 40-minit first full episode. It's called True Crime, and turned it off. It's not like the worst thing I've ever heard, but it reminded me of when 8 years after my cousin Vinny, Joe Pesci released an album in the character of my cousin Vinny called Vinny, whatever the last name is, sings just for you. It seems like a weird thing to do with this character. It's a lot of it was just him berating the lady who plays the producer character on it, and those are the only two voices you hear, and then they bring on guests, and it's really really thin premise. It seems like they should have spent more time writing it. It reminded me of Will Ferrell's George W. Bush one-man show, where it seemed a little slapped together,
Yeah, because I mean, I figure if
thought, okay, we'll put Will in the studio and it's going to be so funny, and we don't really need to, try very hard on this, and I think they were wrong.
Yeah, because I feel like if they,
Nope, Thor's gone now.
Okay, I feel like if they went into like that Onion podcast that we listened to, where it was making fun of.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be great because I keep on finding myself thinking back to that. I was like, that was so brilliant, but I'm not sure if it could be done again, because I was like, if anybody else does this, it's already been done. But I mean, Will Ferrell is a very talented man, and I have no doubt that he could come up with something great.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see if my podcast list got so dry today. I listened to a Joe Rogan and an Alex Jones podcast. So
it was about sports.
The Joe Rogan and Alex Jones?
Yeah. Aren't they sports people?
No, Alex Jones is the InfoWars guy.
Oh my god, you listened to the InfoWars guy?
I mean, I had nothing to listen to, and I was like, this is going to be crazy, and it was laugh out loud funny.
That is absurd.
Yeah, it was 4 hours and 40 minutes long. And actually, I was going to listen to it because I started it in the morning and I was going to listen to it throughout the day. But we had a network crash. And so maybe that's why the network crashed. They were like, somebody's listening to bullshit.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. You know what? I support IT people just like fucking with fans of Alex Jones.
Yeah. No, for the record, Alex Jones is crazy. I listened to it for 30 minutes before it crashed. And of those 30 minutes, I think it was only like 7 or 8 where I was like, he's normal. But then he just went into crazy batshit mode real fast. So, about the only good thing I got out of it was that he said that, yes, he did say that the Sandy Hook was a setup or like fake, but then he took it back and he was like, no, it really did happen. I was like, okay, that's a misconception that I had. I didn't realize like he he decided that mass murder was.
I think he's getting sued by the parents of
So he's like,
of the kids.
Maybe I should change my mind.
I mean, or maybe I should not get sued by the parents of a bunch of dead kids.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So.
Alex Jones, what a monster. There was an episode of...
I've been listening to a lot of monsters lately.
Yeah. No, I don't listen... I'm sorry, I don't watch Law & Order SVU very often. I mean, like, I went through a period right after college when I watched there was a marathon on every 20 minutes, and I would watch all the episodes. But, I probably stopped around, like, season 8 of the show, let's say. But I just was watching, Thursday night NBC comedies, and it came on afterwards. And so the episode, I don't even remember what, like, the main murder or whatever was, but there was a character on there that was basically an Alex Jones type where, they basically, are trying to investigate him. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know everything I'm saying is bullshit. I'm just frothing up these idiots to make money and sell supplements. And I was just like, this is amazing. We are #blessed for these
exactly
ripped from the headline stories.
But moving into Man Crush.
Man Crush.
I'm firmly putting this guy in position, but it is Luke from Gilmore Girls.
Really?
Let me get his real name. But he is, she's been watching Gilmore Girls like crazy. And so he's always...
Part of nesting.
Yeah. Scott Patterson is his real name. But no, he's just, I love this guy, and I think he's like the perfect example of like a good guy.
Some real, like, non-toxic masculinity.
Yeah. I mean, he's very awkward, and he's like half the time unsure of himself, and I'm like, what? I can get behind that. I am unsure of myself at many times. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to go into work and say yes.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, there you have it. Go Luke from Gilmore Girls. I.e.
Has he ever been in anything else? I don't feel like I have seen him in anything else.
I'm not sure if I want to see... Oh, wow, he is in Saw. Huh.
It definitely seems like you've seen that movie.
No, I'm not that big of a fan of Saw. I've watched all of them except the newest one, and it gets a little bit too mystery and too intense for the sake of being intense for me. But I'm sure in like 5 years I'm gonna get like the box set of it and consider Jigsaw part of the icons. We'll see. But no, it doesn't. He's been in quite a few, but oh yeah. So Saw. Moving on, we're ready to talk Oscars.
Let's do it.
All right.
So, did you watch the Oscars?
No.
Okay. All right.
But
make it a little tougher. Okay. So.
But I'm fine adding commentary and
Perfect.
And basically reading from the headlines of which I saw afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think the big thing to know about this year was compared to years past, there was no host.
Oh, what?
Yes, because Kevin Hart was the host, and then people realized that, he said some homophobic shit, and then they got him basically kicked out. And he did not, he apologized, but no, he actually didn't. In the way that a lot of people will be like, oh, but that was so long ago, and I've learned, and my gay friends love me or whatever, but then like didn't apologize. And also it happened like 4 years ago when you were 37, so like you weren't like some child.
That's not too long ago.
So it's tough to feel too bad for him.
Yeah, and I mean it's understandable
yeah.
that they didn't want to put him in there, because this is, you know, a big event, and you can choose anybody to be up here, and why put somebody who, you know, has a blemish? Put somebody up there who is an icon.
I mean, so part of the problem, so there's kind of two things there. Like, number one, it's very hard to get anyone to host the Oscars, because what happens is every year they pick somebody to host. Everyone, you know, as usual, internet think pieces have ruined everything.
Yeah. It was Seth Meyers last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, so what happens is every year they have a host. Everybody flips out about who the host is going to be. What ends up happening is, you know, the host like comes out for like, I don't know, 7 minutes the whole night. And then the next day everybody's like, worst Oscars ever. We hated the host. Yeah. And there's so many people who watch the Oscars that like, you know, that's got to be sort of depressing. And there's only so many like late night comedians or whoever who are willing to take the gig. So I think, you know, when they said he couldn't do it, when they kicked him out, I mean, it's not like there was some big lineup of people who wanted to host the Oscars in his stead, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd say, first of all, there was no host. And second of all, I think the show was better.
Yeah.
Much better. Because hosts just drag you down, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it's not about the host. It's about, you know, the winners.
Yeah.
And, you know, even the nominees.
It's about the winners.
Right.
You always have people coming out and introducing each category anyway who aren't the host.
Yeah, to elaborate on it and its significance and whatnot. Right.
So, like, you know, whatever. But so I think it went just like loads better. They brought out Maya Rudolph, Amy Poehler, and Tina Fey as like the first people to introduce a category, and they gave them a little longer than they give most of those to talk. And I think that was to just kind of be like, man, remember how you guys all said you should have these people host the Oscars? We're not going to do that, but we'll let them tell some jokes.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then you'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd say the night ended up moving a lot faster than it does normally. So that was nice.
Yeah. Can you first set the tone for it? Because I feel like this is your Christmas each year.
This is my Christmas. This is my Super Bowl.
So like, how do you prepare for this?
So,
I mean, other than watching all the movies and getting all your spreadsheets out. So you watch
all the movies, you read all the commentary. Every year there's somebody who like anonymously, they'll put out an article that's like 3 people who vote in the Oscars anonymously talk about how they pick their winners. And so there'll be some like, you know, there'll be like a guy who's some like 60-year-old movie executive, and he'll be like, so I don't really like care about this. I just like hand it to my secretary, and then she picks them for me. Yeah. And then there'll be like, you know, somebody who's like you know, mid-level, you know, assistant director or something, and they'll be like, well, you know, I went to school with Fred, so I picked Fred's movie, and you know, I picked this because I worked with her, and I picked this thing because, you know, like, I didn't see it, but my nephew saw it and he said it was good, you know, and so it's always very interesting. But so, you know, I like to read the numbers in Vegas. I mean, I don't actually know how to read those, but like I read the stories that summarize what people are betting on in Vegas. There's a Windy City Live.
It's kind of like what I do when Nick reads off the budget, where I'm like, okay, that's big. And then he tells me whether it's big or not.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, you don't want to have to figure that out on your own.
No.
You don't know.
That's why we have Nick.
That's the point of Nick. So, you know, so it's kind of, it's like that. You've got to do your push-ups. You got to read your articles. You got to, you know, figure out what's happening. read up on some of the gossip about who's coming to present, who isn't.
So do you have like an Oscars like watch party?
Every year, I don't. A friend of mine does.
Okay.
So this was the 4th year he had the party. So it's like 20 people in a living room, kitchen full of snacks. People take it a variety of amounts of seriousness. Now it's like it's in many ways like a Super Bowl party, right? Like if what you really want to do is just like super watch it and not have any commentary, then you need to stay home and watch it on your own. If you're in a room with 20 people, you have to accept that you're gonna miss some stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But these days, it's so much easier to catch up the next day. Like my YouTube, which, sometimes they suggest things that I'm like, yes, this is great. And other times I'm like, okay, I don't really know what you think about me, YouTube. But they recommended a lot of the videos of the, introductions and different stuff. So anyway,
but speaking on the YouTube recommendations, there's one day that I was just like watching like live concert performances, and then I turned on one, and it was the commercial like before the video was an hour-long episode of Project Blue Book on the History Channel.
What?
It was so weird, and I was like, sure, I'll watch the first episode. And it was great, because it was just like, I don't know if it was like an error in the algorithm or what, but like, I was like, sure. It was very weird recommendation, but they got me.
I feel like that is, first of all, you can skip them, right? Like, just so you know that.
Oh no, I skipped most of them, but I was like, Project Blue Book, tell me more. Because I'm very interested in conspiracy theories, so I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'll sit on my computer, because I don't typically sit on my computer and watch an episode. But I was like, yeah, I could reorganize some comics or something while I watch this.
I know, I love to feel like, oh man, I'm accomplishing so much while consuming my media, but no, I'm just folding my towels very slowly.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think you've set the mood. I like this party that you've set up.
So, right. So it's a party, food, snacks. We've got to have, of course, you got to have the boxes of movie-style candy,
Oh, yeah, I just bought some Reese's
obviously.
Pieces for the girl.
Yes, we had a little bowl of Reese's Pieces out, too.
E.T.
I said, so I was, my friend was setting up the TV along with 3 roommates. No one could figure out why the sound wasn't working. Not sure if they ever solved that. Because we ended up switching TVs. It's a long story. But so then I was setting up all the stuff in the kitchen, all the food, and hanging up. I don't know if you remember this, but 2 years ago, Thor and I threw a New Year's Eve party. And so we just reused all of those decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
nice.
You know what? Similar colors.
It's a celebration.
Anyway, so setting the scene. So it's that. I think this year people were there was some tension going on, right? Because you got all these bad men of Hollywood who have created movies that are, liked by a certain subsection of the audience and disliked by other certain subsections of the audience. So there's always going to be some tension there between like the smaller, more artistic things and the bigger, movies that could generously be called crowd pleasers and less generously be called probably racist.
Yeah.
So anyway, the long and the short of it is, I think a lot of people very interested in how the show was going to go this year. And you know what? Numbers were up. The Oscar viewership has been going down lately, and this year they were up. Now, how many of those people were tuning in so they could see Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga eye fuck each other on the stage? Maybe all of them.
Bradley Cooper is not a singer, right?
No, I mean, he's like an actor who can sing, and he was definitely like very pitchy. Yeah. Like, she sounded great, obviously, but we were kind of like, I think as a nation, we were like, you could have just been there, you know, you could have just like walked up there and she could have sang to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe he could have done like a dance or something.
right. Bradley Cooper is one of those celebrities who, like, the only time I've ever wanted to sleep with him was in the movie American Hustle, and I don't know why. He had like this tight 70s perm, which I don't think I find attractive, but for whatever reason, that is the only time I've ever thought of Bradley Cooper as like a sexual being.
Yeah, I forgot which movie it was, but like he irks me in most movies just because he looks really annoying. But then there was one movie that he was in that I was just like, I do like him. But
yeah, so you know, maybe he can be your man crush one of these days.
Let's not jump the gun there.
Okay, we won't. But it was you know, so I think that was kind of the standout performance.
Oh, Silver Linings Playbook. I'm sorry, that was
yeah.
what turned me.
Yeah, no, I did like him a lot in that he was very good in that.
But then he did American Sniper, and I was like, what the fuck? Come on, bro.
You just never can tell what Bradley Cooper's doing. Also, he maybe has a baby now. I also might have made the baby up, but I think he has a baby now.
Cool. All right.
I'm sorry. Thor informs me that he has a 1-year-old. Sure.
All right.
Anyway, so I'd say that was kind of, so there were 4 different musical performances. You had Bette Midler, you had the Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, you had Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, Bette Midler is old.
That's true, but she has had enough facelifts that she's 73.
Was she a good singer?
Yeah, I would say Bette Midler, known for singing, is good at singing.
I don't know what she's known for.
I mean, mostly she's known for Hocus Pocus, but, you know, other than Hocus Pocus,
is that her?
She's mostly known for singing. And Beaches.
Okay, I could see it. Wow, she looks a lot different.
Well, I think she must have had work. There's no way someone who's 73 can look like that unless most of her facial skin is like under her hair somehow.
Okay, I like Bette Midler now.
Yeah, no. She and I loved her gown. It was a great year for gowns. I'd say, you know, is that what people worry about during the Super Bowl? I don't care what people worry about during the Super Bowl. But what I worry about during Art's Super Bowl is, what is everyone wearing? We're seeing a lot of pinks. We're seeing a lot of things that are not as close to the body. I think it's, you know, a real interesting move fashion-wise.
Okay.
A lot of kind of 1930s silhouettes. Anyway, so fashion doesn't matter, but I did like Bette Midler's dress, and you also saw a lot of women in like tuxedo pants. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So you said that there were 2 other performances besides the Bradley Cooper and Bette Midler.
So Bradley Cooper, Bette Midler, Jennifer Hudson, and then 2 people singing a cowboy song, and I've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Cool.
So 4 different performances. The 5th song that got nominated was Kendrick Lamar, and he refused to perform for some reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening there with Kendrick Lamar. Maybe next time.
Are you a fan of Kendrick Lamar?
You know, I think I'm about as much of a fan of Kendrick Lamar as you can be if you've never like actually sat down and listened to his albums. So I'm not as good a fan as Obama, who has definitely listened to his albums.
Yeah.
But I feel like whenever he puts out a song, I really like it.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Kendrick, and I feel like he's kind of like a modern day Tupac, where his music is really meaningful and it's really good, and it's, you know, not derogatory, you know, like Lil Wayne or Lil Pump.
There's a great article out there called what's it called? It's like, Should You Fight This Rapper? And so it's just an article where somebody went through a list of like 20 rappers and basically kind of gave the over-under on whether or not you should fight them. And I just always think about that article because, first of all, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And second of all, because one of them was about Kendrick, one of the little paragraphs was about Kendrick Lamar. And the author talked about going to see some show or maybe he was like at an award show or something, and he's like, oh, this like 13-year-old kid is like running onto the stage. Why isn't anyone stopping him? And it turned out to be Kendrick Lamar, who I guess is kind of short, but also just kind of like exploded into, you know, an amazing performance. So anyway, so
did they say that you should beat up Kendrick Lamar?
I think you probably shouldn't, but I don't remember if you should beat him up. I just remember that he's short.
Okay.
Let's see. Should you fight this rapper? Oh, here we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It was the If I Fought This Rapper, Would I Win chart at Grantland from 2014. I read it every 6 months.
Yeah.
Let's see. Although I guess not often enough to remember if you should fight, which ones you should fight or not fight. It says you definitely should not fight DMX, by the way.
Yeah. He's just going to yell at you.
He's definitely, I think, so they put him at not very tough.
Okay. I think I would rather it be, does this person pose enough value that you should try to put them in place? Because
I think it's more like, is this person, you know, going to be stronger than you? Like,
yeah.
Let's see, like you shouldn't, you should definitely not try to fight reggae Snoop Dogg, for instance, because he will not try to fight you, but regular Snoop will definitely knock you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to find this article and read it sometime.
I'll post it on your Facebook wall. You'll love it.
I got rid of Facebook.
I don't even care if you love it. I'll reread it and laugh my head off at work tomorrow.
Very good. Well, you can actually just text it to me because I got rid of Facebook.
You don't have Facebook?
Yeah, I got off.
Wait a second. My God, you're not on Facebook.
Yeah, I just reactivate it when she wants me to share something about the little ghoul. So.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
That's what I'm rolling with.
You know, they say a great name to give babies is Jennifer.
I will add it to the possibilities list.
Oh, good. Just cross out the other stuff.
All right. Moving on. So, what did you think about the winners? Were you
okay?
How did you do?
In my own personal
rankings. Guesses, yeah.
I did not do as well this year. I did think, and I was pleasantly surprised to be wrong about this. I thought they'd shut Black Panther out. Black Panther got nominated for, I believe, 7 Oscars. Is that it? I believe it was 7. And it actually won 3 different Oscars, but I did not think it would.
Was it nominated for animated feature film due to the amount of CGI in it?
No, I will say that was something that it didn't. I loved Black Panther. The CGI didn't ruin it for me, but I definitely, the more CGI there is in a movie, usually the less I like it. I'm all for CGI to like hide wires to protect stunt performers and that kind of thing, and a little bit here or there is fine, but if anyone's like fighting a fake person or animal or like, usually that just doesn't really work for me in any sort of long-term sense. But it ended up winning for score, costumes, and production design, so that was pretty cool. But I definitely didn't guess any of that.
Did you watch all the movies?
I watched a good percentage of them, but I didn't watch as many as I usually do because they basically shortened the window of normally they announce the Oscar nominees, and then 7 weeks later, 6 or 7 weeks later, they have the actual ceremony. This year it was 4 weeks. Like, it was 4 weeks. So, and in that time I ended up getting sick. So anyway, it just became this whole thing. So I definitely didn't see as many as I normally do. But anyway, so let's see. What else was I impressed by? I thought that Bohemian Rhapsody was not going to take very much, and then it took a lot more than I guessed.
Which was Rami Malek, an actor in the leading role.
Yeah, he won. They won for both sound categories. They won for film editing, etc. They did not, of course, win for director, because that would be very awkward. I mean, they weren't nominated for director, because the director, Bryan Singer...
oh, yeah, he's a bad guy now.
He's been a bad guy for a good long time, it sounds like, and they basically, fired him, let him go. He had a family emergency, I don't know, but basically as Bohemian Rhapsody, because, okay, so the other thing you have to remember, much like sports, you know how sports, there's like in baseball, leading up to the World Series, there's 20,000 games of baseball a year.
Yeah.
Right. So leading up to the Oscars, you also have a whole bunch of other awards shows, some of which, get aired, some of which I'm sure you could find somewhere, but you're not, people just kind of like reading about, about who won because it helps them in their Oscar pools. So, anyway, so leading up to it, Rami Malek?
I go with Rami.
Rami? I've never actually watched Mr. Robot.
Oh, man.
iRobot?
Mr. Robot.
Emmanuel.
Get out.
Yeah, I mean, I loved that show. Like, I watched, like, a few episodes during the first season, and I was just like, this is weird. And then I got sucked in, like, a few years ago, and I'm really looking forward to the last season.
How many times did he... was he your man crush of the week? I feel like he popped up a few times.
Yeah? I don't know.
I feel like it.
I don't know.
We gotta have a chart somewhere.
I'm waiting for somebody to submit that. Tell me how many times Steve Howey was up there.
Oh my gosh, is that the kid from
That's Kev from Shameless.
Kev, yeah. Anyway, so given the number of times that Rami Malek, fucking Thor,
Mr. Robot.
given the number of times that he won something or somebody else from the production won something leading up to the Oscars and including the Oscars, and everyone was just very careful not to mention the director, which has been very interesting to watch. Anyway, so I did not expect it would do as well as it did. They did. Oh, that is the other thing. So because normally you open the Oscars with, somebody, the host will, come out and do a bunch of jokes or maybe do like an opening number, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a host this year, so how did they open it? They had Queen do a medley of songs because why not?
Oh, with Adam Lambert.
With Adam Lambert, who has grown a beard, and I find that confusing. He has a good baby face, and the beard does not work for me. Not that he asked, but just in case he's listening.
I asked.
Right. The beard not working for me. It has also been interesting to see as the pre-Oscar season was heating up, as the awards in general were heating up, how often they just kept bringing the band with them everywhere they went, like some sort of weird accessory. I feel like it was a way of appealing to the kind of people who get to vote in award shows to be like, also, you remember these guys?
Yeah. From
back when you could still get erections? And
Thor like that one.
He did. So I feel like they've just been dragging them around like some sort of, weird chicken carcass. And it worked. They did pretty well. They got 4 Oscars.
Yeah. So what was your opinion on Green Book? Of which won Best Picture?
It did win Best Picture. It was tough, but I decided not to see it, even though it was nominated for an Oscar, because I just felt like it was so retrograde. In the days after so the big problem is, right? So it's about the friendship between a black performer and his white driver.
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. Mahershala Ali plays the black singer.
Before we get into this, have you seen Eastern Promises?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Okay, it's a film with Viggo Mortensen as an undercover mafia guy, and it's got one of the best scenes where Viggo Mortensen fights off two gangsters in a spa, completely naked.
What?
And it's great.
Okay, I'll at least watch that scene.
The movie is great, but I do believe that is the best scene in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
But continue.
So anyway, leading up to the show, like I said, lots of different award shows, and the director, I believe, and the writer have said some things that made me feel a little unhappy about the idea of going to see the movie. And then after the Oscar, the family of the singer, because this is all based on a real story.
Right.
The story of this white guy and this black guy. The white guy is is kind of the hero of the white savior of the movie, and he also is the father of the guy who wrote the movie. So you're not really getting an unbiased opinion there. And I guess the family of the black singer has came out and said, we're really upset about how you portrayed him in this movie. And the guy who wrote it was like, well, when I knew this guy, I knew this the singer, he always said, you should tell my story, make sure you don't talk to my family. And then the director said, I didn't know that he had a family. The guy had a family, which is a weird thing to say.
And he was like, don't release it until after I die.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, NPR did an article on this.
People are always like, you should definitely tell my story, but don't do it while I can go to the award shows dragged around like a chicken carcass.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it just seemed very retrograde. And I felt like as the night was going on, you had a lot of real wins for diversity. That hashtag Oscars So White campaign of 2 years ago, I think, has really pushed the Academy to be a little bit more aware of diversity in a way that I think could only be a good thing. We had more winners. It was the first black costume designer to ever get nominated or win anything. It was the first black production designer to ever get nominated or win anything. Just a lot of very good, great things that were really pushing for diversity. And then you just have this really retrograde ending to the night. And it wasn't 2 years ago when La La Land won, and then it as we're all putting on our coats at our Oscar parties, suddenly they're like, just kidding, actually.
No, right? I remember that. That was great. I love that.
That was amazing. We all just turned back to the TV like some sort of cartoon.
Yeah.
What? And then we had to keep watching. Yeah. Honestly, I will never. The fact that I got to see that live.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. But anyway, so not great. Not great, Bob.
Yeah. But I mean, there was no mess ups this time, right?
Sorry. Interrupt again. I just wanted to say about you were talking about them ignoring the family. And the author of the script saying that, it's because that guy told me this and that guy told me that. He didn't thank, I forget the pianist it's based on. He didn't thank that guy when he won Best Screenplay. None of the writers did. Yeah. And then no one involved with the movie, not a single person, thanked the black guy the movie's about when they won Best Movie.
Great. Wonderful. Yeah, not ideal. So another interesting win of the night. Everyone thought that Best Actress was going to go to Glenn Close for The Wife, which
actress in a leading role.
Actress in a leading role, and she's been nominated 7 times, perpetual bridesmaid. And then everyone thought it was going to be her. And then it turned out to be Olivia Colman from The Favourite. It's the only thing out of the 10 things The Favourite got nominated for. that landed, and so it was pretty crazy. If you look up nothing else, on from the Oscars, okay, no, there's 3 things you should look up from the Oscars. Number 1, Maya, Tina, and Amy doing their little intro. Great. Number 2, Melissa McCarthy presenting for Best Costume Designer.
Okay.
Just trust me on this. And number 3 would be the speech from Olivia Colman, which was delightful and funny and irreverent. And, it made me sad Glenn Close didn't win, but at least if she didn't win, we got to see this. This was pretty great.
Cool.
As normally, now this is the point in the show where normally I'd say, okay, so I always go see the Oscar-nominated shorts, and I think more people should see them. Sometimes
where do you see them?
I see them in Bolingbrook, but they're actually in a lot of theaters now. So I see like a special presentation where they do kind of a double header of the live action shorts and then the not Bolingbrook, Barrington. Anyway, one of the northern suburbs. And so they do kind of a double header. But actually, a lot of like AMC's and classic cinemas are showing them now. So it's pretty cool.
Do you still have to pay like a full movie ticket though?
You pay for a full movie ticket, but you're getting an hour and a half of entertainment. The same way
As long as you're getting your hour and a half, that's good.
You're right. You're still getting an hour and a half.
Okay.
So
you're getting my money's worth.
Absolutely. But so they do the Oscar-nominated animated shorts, which were, I feel like, pretty great this year. And then they also do the live action shorts. And I don't know, sometimes there's just something in the water, something in the zeitgeist. I don't know what happened. This year was crazy with the live action shorts. There were 4 separate shorts where a child either is kidnapped, dies, it was kidnapped, dies.
There was a theme this year.
Yeah. Then there was a short break for lesbians, and then we went right back to child endangerment, where it was 2 children who murdered a separate child.
Was it
And
Slender
then
Man?
the final one, what?
Was it Slender Man?
No, it was actually probably more disturbing. It was brutal. And then the 5th one was a child who shoots someone. So, anyway, not to like put a curse on your fetus, but definitely, it's very dangerous to have children. I learned that now. They will definitely become murderers.
I feel like the Gorehound and the Graveyard Queen would be okay parents. Will do a good job. But, as long as they don't become a serial killer or kill anybody.
You never know when, for instance,
nowadays.
A pair of British 10-year-olds will decide to murder a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Good fucking Lord. And it's based on a true story. They did not make this up.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just a very, brutal year for live action shorts. Yeah. So...
did you watch the Spider-Man movie?
Actually, I didn't. Thor did. He loved it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't watch very many superhero animated films, even despite there being a plethora of them. But I really want to watch that one. Really, only because of the number of characters that they bring into it. I think looks fun.
Well, I will say too, if you get the chance, and you do end up seeing that one, there is one of the babies. One of the production babies. I know it. I know the baby.
Yeah.
Not to brag.
Okay.
A friend of mine's husband was involved in the production, so we did get to see a picture of him posing with the Oscar ad, presumably the next day in the office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, obviously they do not invite every single person who is involved in a production to the Oscars, but I feel like in some way I won an Oscar.
There you go.
I do. I also, I do have a friend who is a news reporter who has won an Emmy, and she does let us play with them at parties. So
you know everybody.
Here's what you gotta do. You gotta find people who have statues that you can play with. If I could offer people one piece of advice, it would be, find statues you can play with. I think it's Dame Judi Dench who, I believe it's her, who keeps her awards in the downstairs bathroom, so that the downstairs guest bathroom, so that people don't have to ask if they can play with her Oscar.
Because people look at everything in the bathroom.
Well, I mean, right. It's one way to keep people from just like going through the medicine cabinet, like. But no, so that way they can just like hold it up to the mirror and give a fake speech in their head about what they would say if they won. And I honestly, that is hero level behavior, because if I knew somebody who had an Oscar, I would ask every time if I could touch it.
If I got an Oscar for something I did, I would give it to you.
Really? That would be amazing. You can't sell them anymore. So
yeah,
you can sell them.
Gift it to you.
Oh my god, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, and I got married last year.
All right, you want to wrap this up, or provide your closing thoughts?
Let's wrap this up. Like I said, everyone's got homework. You got 3 videos you got to look up.
What were those 3?
And I also have to send you something. I don't remember what. Oh, I have to. Oh, and you also have to look up the to figure out if you should fight certain rappers.
Yes, that's the blog. Yes,
that's the blog.
What were the 3 videos?
Grantland. And I think, like I said, I think it's important to remember that the Oscars are not the be-all, end-all decision about whether or not movies are good. Plenty of movies are good that don't get nominated for Oscars. Plenty of movies are enjoyable that are not good that also don't get nominated for Oscars. And some things that are neither good nor enjoyable do get Oscars. So, I don't think you have to watch them as any barometer of quality. But I do think that it is a lot of fun as a cultural institution. I mean, I even go see the Super Bowl, and let me tell you, that was real boring this year. Yeah, and I say that as someone who does not care about sports, but even I could tell it was very boring.
That it was. As the Gorehound's closing thoughts, who saw, I think maybe 3 of these movies. I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, was very moved by it. I loved Rami Malek, but I probably would have loved him regardless of what he did, only because I have a great affinity for Mr. Robot. And I saw Black Panther, but I'm also very easily perturbed by an excessive use of CGI. Despite it being a great movie, that irked me. But, and the rest of it, I did not see. I want to see Black Klansman, but we'll see if that ever happens. I've got more Slender Man movies to watch, so.
Oh my god.
So, all right.
All right.
I think that'll wrap it up. And until next time, I'm the Gorehound.
I'm Jen.
And we are the All New Culture Cast. Catch you later.
You've been listening to the All New Culture Cast, where every episode is all new. Check out new episodes and our back catalog at allnewculturecast.libsyn.com. We could also be found on iTunes. The All New Culture Cast, a Saltwater production, copyright 2019. Thanks for listening.